So what projects you have out, or what? Tell me what you're working on.
Man, so we could go take it back a couple years. Before I moved out to Georgia, I had two projects. It was a book and a CD combination, and at the time I didn't feel like I was in the right area to release it, or where it would be appreciated or being supported the way I felt it should be. I was living in the mountains, so it was kind of meant for a specific audience. But now that I'm back here, I'm going to be re-releasing in my book and my CD, which is entitled Spiritual Warfare, Inspiration of a Nation. So the book and the CD is basically talking about the spiritual aspects and the psychological aspects of just the state in which we live, the spiritual oppression that we go through as Black people, and how it's implemented in this culture and in this society. So that's my two projects. The book is a combination of essays and spoken word all in one, and the CD is kind of, I feel as though it's my best work that I've ever done. And the crazy thing is, I've never performed any piece off of the CD. Never performed anything. Only time I've ever was in the studio, and I never went back to it. But that's all to come, as well as productions. So I have a video production background, and I'm a writer. That's why I subscribe to being a writer as well as a spoken word artist. But I have 3 performance pieces that I'm going to be turning into short films, 10 to 15 minute short films, and they're basically stories that will be spoken word, and then you'll have people in the background theatrically acting it out, with no dialogue, no whatever. The only wording is the actual spoken word piece, but people are gonna be back, giving it the visuals. So that is coming, as well as stage plays. The next one coming is, we haven't signed a contract on it, but what we negotiated was to get a certain percentage of the gross revenue, because it's a big thing for me to have ownership and to be, it's all good, to have ownership and then to be invested in it. You know what I'm saying? To be invested in the project. So a lot of it is, positioning yourself to have, creative, just a creative positioning on the production. So you got plays coming up, the spoken words, and then we have a couple different platforms pushing. One is the Gospel of Black Liberation. That's going to be huge. That's an online to offline liberation platform for people that want to create a counterculture and an alternative, which every day goes by, it seems like more and more of the answer. We also have my website that just got released, iampoetix.com. Check that out. Sign up for the Rebel Experience. And then we also have, what else are we out here doing? Plays, productions, websites, Gospel Black Liberation, iampoetix. I'll be hosting every second Thursday vocal dialect at the Jamaican Bar and Grill. It's Rebel X and Vocal Dialects Presents. So we'll be hosting every second Thursday. That's big. I've hosted in the past, but in a very limited capacity. So I want to see how that comes out, how that goes. And then I'm gonna just be doing, I'm gonna keep going with the IG live open mic. I love that platform. I love how people show up and show out. So that's a big thing. And I'm gonna just be, keeping up with the features, keeping up with spoken word. I gotta be, what my man said, I gotta be the hardest worker out there. You know what I mean? I remember he sent me a Kobe video, and it was documenting the Mamba mentality. And so he was like, yo, that's what you gotta adapt. You wanna be the greatest poet to ever do it? You gotta look at it like it's not poetry. You gotta look at it like it's life. You know what I'm saying? So just staying on with that, writing, creating, productions. And I'm always thinking of different ideas. I love writing. I love the creativity. I love the stories that I can tell. I love the sentiments that I can express, and I do it for people who can't do it themselves. So some of the stories may not be my own, but they're a sentiment that I felt, and I felt the need to express. And there's somebody's story out there, and somebody's gonna be able to relate to it and have it impact them. So all 2020 they're gonna see the vision. That's the motto. All 2020 they're gonna see the vision.
Is there anything that I didn't ask you or talk to you about that you want to talk about?
I mean, to be honest with you, this was a very thorough interview. It pulled a lot out of me, and I was excited for it. So there's some stories that, you know what I mean, that happened to me. We glossed over them without going into detail. There's certain reasons why, you know, I had suicidal thoughts and certain, you know, but we don't, I feel like everything came out natural. So we don't have to double back and go back into those stories. A lot of them are personal anyway, and they not that I wouldn't want to explain them and break them down, but they involve other people. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to put their lives on a stage, on a platform like that. But yeah, I mean, you know, I like to talk real, and yeah. So I'll tell you why I do the spoken word. I do it, and you know, we touched on it a little bit. I want people to understand that number one, we are here for each other. You see what I'm saying? You are an extension of me. I'm an extension of you. We're both an extension of the Most High. And we can't ever lose the connection that we have. So the spoken word that I do is strictly for social commentary. So I can express to someone something that they might not feel themselves, and they know when someone else feels it. But if I wrote it, you can best believe there's somebody out there that feels it. And I know, like, we live in a kind of like a culture where it's everyone for themselves almost, and it's a dog-eat-dog, rat race type of mentality. And I've always been the one where it's like, community is everything. You know what I mean? Inspiration is everything. So that's pretty much it. Like, I just want to be able to kind of like feed people, you know what I mean? And then in return, them to understand, like, yo, if we lean on each other, we'll never fall.
That's what's up, man. YeahThisMilk, starring my brother Poetix. We killing ignorance one conversation at a time. Y'all be safe out there.